But his acting skills are brilliant as well. Superb acting skills. And his like mannerisms is brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't have a crush on him. Well, maybe a little. Greetings and welcome back to another reaction video, and in today's video, yes, that's right, it's going to be another Lost in the Pond reaction, and today's video is 5 unshakable habits I've picked up living in America. As always, links in the descriptions for Laurence Brown and Lost in the Pond. Check him out, fantastic channel, go support him. I'm just trying to think of some things that maybe Laurence has picked up. I'm guessing coffee, drinking coffee. Obviously we're Brits, we drink tea, although I do drink quite a bit of coffee as well, but I'm guessing that might be one of them. And I'm sure some of the pronunciations and words, I'm sure Laurence has picked up, maybe using gas as opposed to petrol or fuel, which we use over here. But as always, I'm really looking forward to this one. Just a reminder, if you would like to support the channel even more, we do have a Patreon. Links in the description for all the fun pack perks. That's enough of my jibber jabber. Let's get on with it.
Tomatoes. 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 Tomatoes.
Water.
Yep.
Oh, brilliant. Love it.
Hello, I'm Laurence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to habits. Specifically, habits that I've picked up since moving to America. And just to clear up any confusion, this is not a video about how I ran away to a convent and became a nun. That's a separate video. No, this is a video about little things that I do habitually every day that I didn't do when I lived in Britain. And because a long-standing habit of Uncle Toby is to hammer away on his keyboard right after my videos,
Uncle Toby's a legend.
I want to preempt him by insisting that this video does not include habits like leaving socks around the house, because quite frankly, I've done that my entire life. Plus, that's universal, and I know that because men do it throughout the entire universe. The entries in this video were heavily inspired by American culture. And so with that in mind, here are 5 unshakable habits I picked up after moving to America.
Morning coffee.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. When I lived in Britain, I never once drunk a cup of coffee, except for when I was 1.5 years old, and that was bad for everybody.
Oh my days. Yeah, I drink a lot of coffee. I do drink a lot of coffee, but having said that, when I grew up, I probably didn't. But now, yeah, I drink coffee, black coffee now. Lovely. Black coffee, then I move on to tea.
Especially my parents. Now, I don't want to get carried away and suggest that we don't have coffee in Britain. We do. It's just that when I lived there were 2 factors at play. Number 1, tea was more popular, and number 2, per capita, Americans drink way more coffee than the British. It should be noted, of course, that the United States is by no means top of worldwide coffee consumption.
Really?
After all, people in Nordic countries drink 3 times as much, which frankly is absurd.
Didn't know that.
Nonetheless, even though coffee consumption has actually increased in Britain since I left, presumably because people need it as a coping mechanism, coffee is still more prevalent in the United States. And I really started drinking coffee because all of my work colleagues were doing it, and I didn't want to feel left out. Before I knew it, I couldn't stop. And that might sound to you like an addiction as opposed to a habit, but here's where the habitual nature...
It's weird, it's like a treat. I mean, I feel the same about tea, to be honest, but it's like a little treat, and I sort of like, oh yeah, nice cup of coffee. You have a little sip, it's like, oh, it just sort of sets you up for the day. I don't know if you're the same or not, but yeah, that's where I'm coming from.
Of coffee drinking comes in. I've made it a habit to drink coffee as soon as I
What
wake
is
up.
that?
And I need that just to...
What was that? Is that like some kind of coffee? That's a kettle, isn't it? But I've not seen the dial before.
I wake up, and I need that just to compete with my cat, because when I wake up at 5 a.m, usually in zombie-like fashion, I'm always struck by how he's up and about.
He is
nothing.
beautiful.
Here I am accidentally pouring coffee into my cereal, and he's already had breakfast, cleaned himself 3 times, and fought off an imaginary mouse. Coffee isn't the only thing I picked up in the workplace. Corporate
jargon, yes. Corporate jargon. I know You like to abbreviate a lot of things or use things like, I can't think of anything now, but like LOL. I know everyone uses laugh out loud, but everything's sort of brought down. I can't even think of the word. What's the word? Rather than saying everything, you just say the first letters. I can't think of the word. Bloody hell, I'm really, I think I need another coffee. But I know that a lot of Americans do that, and it's coming on over here quite a bit. For example, AWOL, absent without leave. I think most people would use AWOL, but that kind of thing. Is that what he means?
Like any other country in the world, America has languages within languages, and one of those languages is corporate speak. And arguably, no country on earth is more fluent in this language than the United States itself. Oh, sorry about that. Looks like I accidentally muted myself. What I was saying is, can you hear me? What I was saying is, I got another email today from Martin saying we need to touch base about those SOWs.
SOWs. SOWs. What's SOWs?
And I still don't know what an SOW is. To me, an SOW is a female pig. And as somebody who worked in American office environments for the better part of 7 years, I've picked up this lingo through osmosis. So you'll hear these phrases that you'll never hear outside of the office environment, such as, can we circle back? Let's touch base.
Yes. What's the other one? Ramp. When you're like going to ramp something up in terms of, you know, you've got a new product, you need to ramp it up. And then all this jargon. Yes. Yeah, that's over here now as well.
Can we get our ducks in a row?
Yeah.
You know,
keep our powder dry, in essence.
Unless you work for a veterinary service or the parks department, you're not going to be doing anything with ducks, much less getting them in a row. I know this is just an idiom, but at the end of the day...
Make sure we're all singing from the same hymn sheet.
Ducks are just going to do their own thing, so it's better for your productivity if you leave them alone. Same goes for CBT, because I know now that it stands for computer-based training, but previously it meant cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes.
So we just need to spell things out. To those of you who've never lived with a cat, I feel both deeply sorry and envious. But if that is you, there's probably one thing you don't know about indoor cats. They're constantly trying to escape. Why do you always do this when I have to go down and get the mail? Want me to get off my hand? He's trying to turn my hand so that the hand turns the doorknob. He's so smart. In America, they're much less likely to be successful because, on the whole, Americans prefer to keep their cats indoors. In Britain...
You know what? I didn't know that. We do have indoor cats over here. But I didn't know the majority of people have their cats inside.
Sometimes it feels like there are more cats on the street than dog feces. All that to say, when I moved to the United States, I thought nothing of letting the cat out of the flap. But then I saw something weird. I watched as a cat got run over by a truck, and it just happened that behind that truck was a police officer, and he stopped his car, got out of it, saw me and my wife frozen in horror like this, and he just picked the cat up by the tail and dumped it by the side of the road. And in that moment, I had an epiphany. If one of my cats got flattened by a truck, I wouldn't want them to have such a demeaning burial or to be flattened by a truck. I mean, let's be clear. And so now, every time I leave the house, I have to make sure the cats aren't following me. They're indoor cats. They're not going anywhere. They're staying put. There's actually just the one cat.
I've got to say, I'm sure it was just the one cat, yeah.
Days. The other one died of kidney failure.
Oh.
Not a Prius. You'll be kidnapped by cyclists. Do you want that? Oh, he's got out. He got out. I didn't mean for that.
The thing is, cats are really smart anyway. Cats are really smart. They've got more wits about them than say, like dogs. I love dogs. I was brought up with dogs. I understand dogs. I love all animals. I was always a dog person. I still am a dog person, but as a lot of you know, we've got our Fusa, our cat, our Black Panther, and yeah, she's really switched on. I mean, she's 15 now. She's slowed up a little bit. Well, she slowed up a bit, but she's really switched on, really on edge. So yeah, I'm surprised a cat got run over. And normally it's like dogs get run over because they're quite silly, aren't they? Lovely animals, lovely animals. Direct communication.
When I lived in Britain, I had a habit of forming communication with other people in a way that didn't put them out. So I'd go out of my way to say things in a manner that couldn't be perceived as confrontational, tagging statements with questions like, would you mind if I, or would it be possible to?
That's very British.
And after years of living in America, I've learned to get straight to the point, my videos notwithstanding. Hello, yes, I'd like to order a delivery, please. I'd like a 6-inch on Italian bread teriyaki chicken with American cheese toasted. Well, my wife gave me the number.
He's got the wrong number.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll let her know. Thank you. Sorry about that. Yep. Bye. That was the Chicago Public Library. It doesn't mean I've become rude or anything like that, because the Americans that I speak to in this manner speak to me in the same manner.
Something I've noticed as well on tip, I'm not sure if it goes for all Americans, but whenever I watch an American TV show or movie, whenever they're on the phone or cell phone or anything like that, they never say bye. Now, I know Brits always overcompensate for that. Maybe we're overcompensating for all of you guys. We're like, bye, 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 take care, bye, 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 yep, okay, bye, 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 bye. But whenever I watch like American TV shows or in a movie, they don't say bye. You go, yep, sure. And they just put the phone down. And like over here, be like, oh, a bit rude, isn't it? It's funny, isn't it? It's really, really funny, the differences. But yeah, do you do that? Do you not say bye? And you just put the phone straight down, direct to the point. I kind of like that. No, dilly-dallying or procrastinating. Straight to the point. Right, done, bye. Or don't even say goodbye. Let me know.
And also, being direct doesn't mean you shouldn't use phrases like please or thank you or bless your little cotton socks. It just means getting straight to the point. No, that's fine. And then could I just add green peppers, onions, and tomatoes, and that's it? Tomatoes. Tomatoes. Tomatoes.
So I've just spotted he's got like a tin that looks like Star Wars or something in the background. Legend.
Tomatoes.
He's so good, isn't he? I mean, Laurence you can tell he's very, very well educated. But his acting skills are brilliant as well. Superb acting skills. And his like mannerisms is brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't have a crush on him. Well, maybe a little.
Yep. And while we're on the subject of placing orders, that brings us on directly to our final entry.
Entry. Tipping.
To Americans, tipping might seem like an odd entry to...
It's really strange, but we do tip over here. If we go in to eat somewhere, obviously not McDonald's or anything like that, like you guys are exactly the same. But if you go to sit down, typically, unless the service and the food was awful, typically we give about 10%, or I give about 10%.
Have on a list of habits, but for me it had to become a habit because growing up in Britain, you're not expected to tip the bar staff or the waiter.
Yeah, we wouldn't tip the bar staff. If you're just sat at the bar and having a drink, you wouldn't normally tip. No, but more so food.
In America, because those workers rely on those tips for income, it is inconceivably rude not to tip. And how do I know that? Because I accidentally did that once. I was on a business trip in Westminster, Colorado, and I decided to stay up late one night and just have a couple of drinks at the bar. I struck up a conversation with the barman who had an interest in British culture, perhaps owing to the fact that Westminster, Colorado shares its name with Westminster, London, but that's not important right now. What's important is we stayed up for about 2 hours talking until I was the last customer in the bar. He went into the back to do whatever bar staff do in the back,
no.
and I took that as my cue to leave. And as I was on the flight back to Indianapolis the next day, it hit me. I never tipped him. And I still feel really bad about that.
Yeah,
so if you're watching Barman from the Doubletree in Westminster, Colorado, this video is dedicated to you. No, you've been great. So one last thing. When I put a tip on the receipt, does that go to the delivery person or does that go to you?
Yeah, I've asked that one before. Does that go directly to you? Because if it's not, I just get the cash and say, look, you have that.
Goes to the delivery person. So could I send you a check? you personally for, say, 20% of this? Because, well, people think that I'm some sort of YouTube sensation, right? It's not my words, and I don't want to be seen to lack generosity. Yeah, I mean, you've got to put back a little bit, and I just feel it's the least I could do, because you've been excellent.
Wow, what a fantastic video. Another absolute classic from Laurence. Really, really interesting. I do really enjoy covering Laurence's videos. One of the few YouTubers that have actually got back to me, and yeah, lovely man. Links in the description, go check him out, go support him. Brilliant. Just want to say a special thank you to all our Patreons who are keeping the wheels rolling on the channel and helping us out. Thank you so very, very much. Any members watching, we are moving everything over to Patreon. However, we will have a 99¢ tier remaining on the channel, so if you want to carry on with the emojis, etc., you can. But if you are a WoW or Fusa member, please downgrade to the 99¢ tier or jump over to Patreon. I'm not sure if that makes sense. If you'd like to appear on any of my other social media platforms, wearing any of the Mr. H and Friends merch, send me a direct message with a picture of yourself and I'll put you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the community tab on the channel. Just want to say thank you to everyone watching. You guys are amazing. And all I just want to say is take care, God bless. See you all in the next video.